So hello everyone, let us solve another LeetCode question, that is unique paths. So let us read the problem statement first. So we are given that there is a robot on M cross N grid, and the robot is initially located at the top left corner, that is 0, 0, and he wants to reach to the bottom right cell, that is M minus 1, N minus 1, and the robot can either move down or it can go to the right. We are given two integers m and n, and we need to return the number of possible unique path in order to reach the bottom right corner from the top left cell. And we are also given the additional information that the test cases are generated so that answer will always be less than or equal to 2 into 10 raised to the power 9. So it is just an additional information that takes care the answer is always in the integer range. It does not overflow the integer range, so we don't have to do much about that. It's just an additional information. If this would not have been given, we would have taken long as our answer and we would have returned that. Or if they have given some modulo operation to perform, we would have done that. Or anyway, that doesn't make a difference. It guarantees that answer will always be in integer range. So now let us go to the first example. Now before moving on to the first example, we have previously solved a question of minimum path sum. So it is exactly similar to that problem. So only difference was that in that we need to return the minimum sum from that path, and here we need to return the total number of paths in order to reach from start to finish line. So if you have not watched that video, do check that out. We have discussed in detail how we solved that problem through dynamic programming, why greedy approach failed there, and various other things. So if you have not watched that video, first you check that out and then continue to this video. So let us see the first example. So we need to return the number of ways from start to finish. So in this case, there can be one possible ways going straight to the right and then going to the down. Similarly, we can have one possible path going straight to the down, then going straight to the right and reaching the finish line. So these are two possible ways. So therefore there can be many possible ways. First we reach to this cell, then we move down, then to the right, then down. There can be many possible ways. So for this example, there are total 28 possible ways. So similarly, we have given another example and so on and so forth. We have directly got the intuition from the question itself that it is a dynamic programming approach, because we have discussed in the previous video also why we how we arrive to the conclusion that in this kind of problem we will use dynamic programming. Also, whenever we see number of ways or something like that, we always think of the dynamic programming. We have given a very small integer constraint, so that again is a hint that we need to use a dynamic programming approach. So we have discussed in the previous video. If you want to go and check that out, otherwise it's fine. We will now directly write the code because it's straight away recursion and then memorize it. So we will directly write the DP code. So let us write the code now. So we need to initialize the DP. So we have initialized our DP table and we are relying on some function that would give us the number of possible ways. Now what we will write in this solve function we will discuss right now, but before moving on to that, we will first discuss why we have chosen a 2D DP, because in the previous video we have also discussed that. So we'll again discuss or we'll again go through that part. Since number of states on DP relies on number of changing parameters, so we will check how many changing parameters are there. So what one condition is given that the robot can either move down or to the right. So what will happen if the robot will move towards the right? It will change its position on x-axis. Or what will happen if it will go down? It will change the position on y-axis. So in overall there will be only two changing parameters that is either x coordinate would be changing or y coordinate would be changing. So there are two changing parameters, that's why we have chosen a 2D DP. So now we'll pass the parameters inside our solve function and we'll now write the solve function. So whenever we write a recursion or a DP, the first thing is the base case. Now what could be the base case here? Reaching to the final destination. So whenever we reach m-1 and i-1, so we are missing one thing is we need to take the coordinates for moving across the grid. So we will initialize that also. We forgot to initialize that. So we need to start from the top left corner. What is the top left corner? 0, 0. The coordinates of the top left corner are 0, 0, and we will traverse with the help of our I and j pointer. So we forgot to mention that, so we'll just write that part. So now whenever we reach the destination, what is the destination? m-1, n-1. So whenever our I is at m-1 as well as our j is at n-1, so what will we return from here? Whenever we reach the destination, that means we have come across some path. So whenever we reach the destination, that means we got one path, so we will return 1 from that. Now if there is one more base case, that what if we go out of the bound or out of the grid, if our I pointer reaches beyond n or beyond m, or our j pointer reach beyond n, so that would give us the runtime error. So we need to take care of that also. So whenever our I is greater than or equal to m, and or our j is greater than or equal to n, so we need to return 0 from that, because that means we didn't get any path from there and we reach out of bound. And we will write a DP condition for the overlapping subproblems, so that it does not give us the time limit exceeded error. We have discussed all these things in the previous video, that's why we are directly jumping onto the why we are writing this part, how did we arrive at this conclusion, and how do we write the base cases. We have already discussed in the previous video, that's why I am directly writing these parts. So this is the memoization part for the overlapping subproblems. Now we will write our main part, that's it. Or we can have two operations to be performed. We can either go to the down or we can go to the right. So what will happen if we will move downwards? Left. So whenever we are moving down, that means we are changing our I pointer. So we will, and by what means we are changing our I pointer? We are incrementing it by 1. So we will increment I by 1, j will remain as it is, and rest all things will also remain same. And what will happen if we are moving towards the right? When we are moving towards the right, j pointer will be changing, or j pointer will be incremented by 1. So I will remain as it is, j will be incremented by 1, and rest all things remain as it is. And what we need to return from there? Now whenever we are choosing any of the option, either we are going down or to the right, there might be some cases where we are getting a path, there might be some case we are not getting a path, but in overall we need to return the total number of unique paths. So we need to return the number of paths that we are getting from both of these operations. So in order to do that, what we will do? We will add the answer of operation 1 and operation 2. Whatever number of path operation 1 is giving and whatever number of path operation 2 is giving, we will add to that. That will be our total answer. So we will return OP1 plus OP2. And since we are writing DP code directly, we will store it in our DP table, so that if overlapping subproblem occurs, this condition will hold and will directly return answer from there. So this was it about this question. Let us try to submit it. So yeah, our answer is running fine on the sample test case. Let us try to submit. So yeah, it got accepted. And so yeah, this was it about this question. So if you want to learn this question in more detail, we have already discussed in this in the previous video. This is just a slight variation of that, so I thought to cover that also. That's why I made a video on this. So hope you learned from this video. Thank you.